Ring IQ TV, proudly joined by Michael Stephenson of Bedford. It's been a long time coming, but we're finally here, Michael. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not bad, man, not bad. So we've been trying to line this interview up for about probably a few months now, innit? Months. We're finally here. We're in Bedford at your local gym, or you train in Northampton as well?
Yeah, so this is my brother's gym, JA Fitness. So it's a local gym. We have amateurs and fighters come here. And it's a community gym as well, so people come here to train, boxercise. And he has actually boxing classes for his fighters. So yeah, we're at this gym now on a Sunday afternoon. So
Your day off today. Do you train Sundays or not really?
normally it's sparrings, but it was my birthday yesterday, so coach gave me a weekend off, which is rare. But yeah, so Sunday sparred and run in the evening, but I've had today off, so.
Happy belated birthday, man. Before we get into things, I've always known you to play football. Saw you play football a few times, quite decent, nippy as well. Where did your love for boxing come?
I've always enjoyed boxing, so I've always done it, but I never took it seriously until about the age of 20. Then I snapped my leg playing football. Then I went back to boxing just to keep fit, because I just weren't moving. Then my trainer was like, "Oh, you boxed for ages, you're in a fight." I go, "Oh, iffing and ahhing." So it was my first amateur fight, done it. And I just carried on fighting and I enjoyed it, got that buzz, and I just carried on developing, and now I'm at the level that I'm at now.
What made you turn to the boxing gym? Was it people you used to look up to, friends, family? What made you step in the boxing gym at the start for the first time?
Like, I know it sounds cliche, but it's literally, if I didn't do boxing, I definitely would be in prison or dead, 100%. Like, it changed my life, changed how I think of process, how my thought process is. Yeah, so that's what made me do it. Then once I started being dedicated, I stopped going out on weekends, stopped drinking, stopped doing other bad things, and yeah, so that's what made me carry on doing boxing. So
100%. It definitely takes people off the street, man. Nowadays it's just crazy. I mean, just stabbings and all sorts everywhere, every weekend. What's your take on all of that, and how would you advise the younger generation to basically get into boxing? How will it change their life?
Yeah, not even just boxing, anything. I think the kids, they need to find something they're passionate about, and if they have that support and literally just focus on it, drive it, and make it as your career, and that's what I think they need to do. And I think they just need to find something they enjoy, and it'll be cool.
You teach on the side as well, don't you?
Yeah, so I teach at a youth prison, so head of behaviour and achievement. So that's when I've finished from boxing, I'll focus fully on teaching, but at the moment it's 50-50, so.
Do they know you box, and do they ever test you?
Nah, they don't test me. I have a good rapport with them, but literally, we watched my fight. We watched my fight when I last fought on the BBC in March, and we all watched it, we analysed it, and they were like telling me stuff. And like when I'm in training camp, like my kids there as well, they ask me like, "How much weight you lost this week?" And we do it together, and it's cool, and they understand about boxing. I try to teach them about it as well, like an interest, and because like Muhammad Ali is my favourite boxer. Like the kids started to learn about Muhammad Ali, and they had no interest in it before, and I teach them about the 4 weight belts and how so it's cool. I try to teach them about it and other things as well, but yeah, boxing especially.
It's crazy. I mean, a lot of people just think it's violence, so they just stop their kids from watching boxing, even getting into boxing, but it's much more than that. It's discipline and everything, and taking care of yourself. I mean, you making weight, you box at light heavy, right? Yeah, making weight, is that an issue for you?
No comment. Nah, I can make the weight comfortably. Yeah, so light heavyweight, good weight, super middle. Well, as you know, older you get, the harder it is to make weight. So I was at middle at my first started career. Then went to super middle, now light heavy. But I can fluctuate between super middle and light heavy depending on the fights, and depends on the opportunities there, innit? So anyone wants a super middle, light heavy, you know where it is. So that's how it is.
100%. Just want to talk about not the now. Obviously, you're currently a champion. You won the Midlands title in Birmingham. I want to talk about just before you turned pro, you took an unusual route. You didn't have amateur experience. It was white collar, wasn't it?
Yeah, so literally, I had just all white collars, and it was the best thing I've ever done. To be fair, good white collar scene. Bedford weren't really had an amateur scene, so I was so in a small circle of boxing, I didn't really understand it. So I just knew everyone in Bedford was on this white collar thing, and literally, I just done their fight. But you know what? I fought everywhere. So it was literally, I was in the amateurs. I'll give you an example. I fought on the same show as Dan Aziz one time on a white collar show.
Wow.
We fought at the O2 London together.
Was he white collar as well?
Yeah, yeah. I think he had some amateurs, but we fought on a white collar show in O2 in London, and it shows like white collar amateur. It's good to have that amateur pedigree. I've learned, I've learned experience is a big key. But like I said, having a white collar background is alright. We've got good fighters now, like Dylan White. He had a few amateurs. Fabio Wardley, white collar. We've got myself. We've got a few guys that had no amateur experience, and Conor Ben, for example, even though he's a bit iffy, but yeah. So there's guys out there that do not have amateur experience and have done well, and not all good amateurs make good pros.
True.
If you know what I mean. I know there's guys that didn't win national titles and they're world level fighters now, and you see those world level fighters as amateurs that don't perform in the pro. In it is a completely different ball game.
100%. Would you change anything? Would you go back and change anything the way you came up? Would you prefer you had amateur experience, and how important would it have been, or would you carry on like this?
Nah, I think everything happens for a reason, and I'm happy where I am exactly at this moment right now. I learned the hard way. I used to go in the gym and spar people that are 50, 60 fights in Thai boxing, kickboxing, and I wouldn't change it. I learned on the job, but like I said, the higher levels I've got, the more experience and the more I've had to understand about boxing. So I wouldn't change nothing, to be fair.
Well, you've done extremely well. You've won a Midlands title already, and that was back in Birmingham. Did you train any different, knowing it was a title fight, or do you always train like you're preparing for a title fight?
Nah, like we have a process at my gym, Team Shootbox. So James and his team, we have a process, and I trust the process, and it's worked for me. And literally all we did was up the rounds of sparring. Everything the same. Said it was a 10-rounder, so instead of doing 6 to 8 rounds sparring, we're doing 10 to 12 rounds. That was all it was. Nothing changed. Everything stayed the same. So, like we say, trust the process, and it works for us in the gym. Tweak it sometimes, but some days it might be a hard session, and we might swap it for a light session, but yeah, nothing changed.
Now, there is another up-and-coming fighter who is on a massive platform, and he wants the belt you hold, and he also wants the English title. You've probably heard of him, the surgeon, Ben Whittaker.
Yeah.
He's on Sky Sports. I'm pretty sure you posted a picture and he was in the background looking at you, or the title.
Yeah.
Have you had any deals that have come through from their team, from Sky Sports, Ben Shalom?
Yeah, like I said, we've had deals, but deals are not being good enough. So they know what if they want to fight, they know what they want. My team spoke to them. We spoke to them direct, and I spoke to Ben direct as well. So we'll see. Hopefully, we'll get a match for the end of the year. So they know what to do if they want to fight. So that's it.
So do they put a number down for you? Is that something you can talk about, or?
No, I'm not going to talk about the numbers yet. But they have sent contracts over, but it hasn't been the right contract to sign. But like I said, we'll fight him. It's just the contract needs to be correct, and the deal and the agreed terms need to be finalised. So,
what part of that contract weren't you happy with, and what part would you change?
It wasn't the contract. It was more personal agreement. So with myself and my team with Sky. So that was it. There's nothing really in the contract that we was too fussy about. It was just a little bit of personal things we wanted to have for the future, which they could agree on. So we'll go back and we'll negotiate again.
Do you believe? I mean, it happens a lot. Fighters are given a deal, that's put on the table, and they reject it for whatever reason they reject it for. Do you believe that ship may sail? Would you have rather taken that deal while it was there on the table? Because obviously you don't know what's going to happen in the future. Didn't you want to just gamble and take it and beat him?
Nah. I think my whole boxing career, I didn't want to fight for those agreed terms, but it is what it is. Like I said, everything happens for a reason, and if me and Ben will fight. We will fight 100%. It's just a matter of when. We know we'll fight. We're both in each other's paths, and we will meet. So
definitely. So what's next for you? When you fight next, are you in talks with any opponents? And obviously, you're not looking past your next opponent for Ben, and you're not waiting for Ben. So, what have your team talked about with you?
So I know I've got a potential day in October. So we're working on that now, back in training. So we waiting for October, then hopefully a big fight in December time. But yeah, so just in training now for October, preparing myself for it. Then a big fight November, December time. So that's where we're at now.
Cool. Michael, this time next year, what is the goal? Where do you want to be, and what would you be happy with? Obviously, retirement is way long in the process at the moment. You're not looking at that yet. But what do you want to do before you retire?
What I want to do, to be fair, my biggest thing is, like I said, is inspire the next generation. So where we come from, we ain't really the youngsters and the next generation. I want to inspire the next generation in Bedford and Northampton as well. Well, my team are doing an excellent job in Northampton, so let's transition it back to my hometown of Bedford. But in the next year, just big fights, big opportunities, big fights. That's all I want now. No little tune-up fights, no little warm-up fights. So big fights, big opportunities, and show the world what we can do at Team Shoebox and myself. So
100%, man. Obviously, you're going to wrap it up, but I do want to talk about one other fight that is pretty much a done deal in your division. It's Dan Aziz. You mentioned him earlier on, against Joshua Boatsi. I just want your predictions on that fight. And is there a chance that you could fight Dan Aziz or whoever loses out of that? Would you be willing to take anything and anyone who comes across your path?
Yeah, like I said, I'll fight anyone at the light heavyweight division, super middleweight. So it's not, if they want it, they want it. Yeah, like I said, hopefully get some sparring in with Boatsi. We've got a similar style to Dan Aziz, so we'll see if we can go and get some sparring with him. Who I think is going to win? I genuinely don't know. It's a 50-50. Like, they've sparred hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rounds with him. I think the only way Dan will win, I think he has to put him in deep waters, very deep waters, smother his work, don't let him box. Boatsi's an amazing boxer. So Dan has to just literally bully him, literally like a Derek Chisora him. Just smother him and just make the fight ugly. If Dan Aziz tries to box him, Boatsi will just pick his head off. But I think the only way Dan wins if he just literally just smothers him and shuts his distance down and just fights in the inside.
We've got so many good. This is leading me on to more questions now, man. We've got so many good British light heavyweights. Do you think any of them will win a world title while Beterbiev and Bivol are still here, or do they have to retire for one of our guys to collect a title at that weight?
I think the one I think will win a world title, or who could, is Yard. I think he's number one. I like Anthony Yard. I think he's a great boxer. He's a strong physical guy, and he shows that he's up that level. Him against Bivol, I think that'd be a good fight. I'd like to see that, him versus Bivol. Like I said, I think to be the best, you got to fight the best. I think Ben Whittaker, maybe 4 years, he'll be world level after I beat him. But he's a talented boxer. I think out of the light heavyweights now, I think Ben Whittaker, he'll be a future world champion, 100%. Definitely fight at world level. I heard, I think, Yard. I don't think that they've had opportunities to fight him, like Josh Barty and Bivol. He turned the fight down. And if you want to be a world champion, you'd have took that offer. You're getting on your later part of your career, and I think that if that opportunity was there, you should have took it with both hands. I think, like I said, Craig Richards is up there as well. Look at what he done against Bivol. I see it's weird. I see look at Bivol versus Craig Richards. Look what Craig Richards had Bivol in trouble, but then Bivol beat up Canelo.
It's crazy.
Like, boxing's so weird and different. Like, styles make fights, and I think stylistically, Anthony Yard my number one. Callum Smith, Berbatiev, that'd be a good fight. I think Callum's big at the weight, and you know he's got knockout power. I think when he fought Canelo at 168, I think he was weight drained, so I know what it's like to be weight drained and fighting, and it's hard. I think he's got the power to hurt him. Like I said, and I think with Berbatiev, I think Anthony Yard took a lot out of him in that fight. He took damage. So imagine like when you play Street Fighter, innit, and the bar goes down and down. I think Anthony Yard made Berbatiev's bar go down and down. I think he's not young. He's old. No, not old. He's mature in age, kind of nearly 40. And I think Callum Smith, if he catches him, he's going to hurt him.
Yeah, obviously he's a rangy fighter, so that'll be good to watch, man. But Michael, we'll catch up before you fight next, man. And thank you for taking the time out, bruv, and giving us an interview, man. First time ever we've had you on the channel, even though we're both from Bedford. It's just a mad one. You're always busy, man. You're always running on the road.
You're always busy. You're always busy.
But you know what? We've basically opened the gates, so yeah, we'll catch up soon, man.